Mickey and Minnie doing the dance of Joe and Andy made it to Extra Magic Time. Sparkly castle looking absolutely beautiful. But we're not going down Main Street because our only mission is Big Thunder Mountain. So we're going down the arcade over here. So this is one of the arcades in Disneyland Paris. There's one on one side of Main Street, one on the other. Behind there is a little Statue of Liberty thing. Diorama, I think it's called officially. Maybe. But you can use these basically to get around Main Street, and they fill up a lot when it's raining. You come out at the Stitch Meet, and then we're turning down this way to go the sneaky way to Frontierland. Now, if you carry on down that way, you can actually get to Agrabah. But we're going to the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Any day that starts with 2 rides on Big Thunder Mountain is a good day.
Yes, it is.
Joe's just corrected herself after the ride.
You've got to take your ears off, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much. So I think now we're going to head over to Buzz and see if we can get on there so I can beat Joe again, because she's adamant that she can beat me. It's not going to happen.
Not unless I've got 2 guns. And even then it's questionable. The castle looks so pretty.
So I think the queue should be still relatively short because we're in Extra Magic Hours still, or Extra Magic Time as it's now called.
Oh no, it's called Extra Magic Time here. Hours in America is.
This is the problem now. We're just confusing the terminology between the parks, but
just extra stuff.
So let's go over there.
It's been an honor serving with you. Candace has more to determine your rank.
Okay, so I didn't win, but I made it to level 4, so you know, we're progressing. Now we go to breakfast place, the Market House Deli. So this is our favourite breakfast spot in Disneyland Paris. The Market House Deli, when the park opens, it's not on like a lunchtime service, so you can only get croissants and pain au chocolats, and you wait maybe 5 minutes if that, but for €7 you get a croissant or pain au chocolat, a hot drink and a juice, and we also get an annual pass discount on that. So in total our breakfast just cost €11.90, or €14 if you don't have the annual pass discount, which I think is really good for theme park prices, and also it's really quick to get served because, as you can see, there's just a stream of people coming into the park. More or less a walk on to Phantom Manor, so it's got to be done. Don't know about you, Andy, but I think she needs a better window. And if you're bored of it on the vlogs, imagine how Andy feels. He has it so much more than you do. That whole, it's a 5-minute queue, it'd be rude not to. We got stuck. The ride went down as we were down the lift, so we were like basically just watching fire and rescue people. And then we finally got onto the ride, and then the ride stopped again. But we weren't at really a very interesting place when it stopped, which is a shame. Did get this random picture, which I'll insert here, of Melanie's picture above the fireplace, which is opposite where she's like crying a bouquet and lack of husband with the phantom from the mirror. But that took like an hour.
It's like 50.
Yeah.
It's 10:54.
10:54.
I think we entered the queue at 10. So.
Yeah, so near enough an hour. That's what I get for saying it's a 5-minute queue. It'd be rude not to, isn't it?
Yep.
Jinxed it. Coming down to the Frontierland train station. I'm going to do a loop on the train. Just walked past Cowboy Cookout, which is just behind those trees, and it smells amazing. So I think that's where we're going to go for lunch in an hour or so. Off the train at Frontierland, we did a loop, and as we came off we realised that Cowboy Goofy is out, so we've got to meet Cowboy Goofy. So we've done Cowboy Goofy, we've done Cowgirl Minnie, and then we've just been into the Cowboy Cookout for lunch and got the sheriff's platter with a drink and dessert of a pineapple stick. I'll insert the price on screen now so that you can see how much it is, because I can't remember off the top of my head.
€17.
€17, the peanut gallery says. I think we're going to go over towards Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
We do want to go over to Studios, so there's not a lot in Studios at the minute that attracts us.
No.
We've never been on Crush's Coaster because the spinning, and no. It's just a straight up no from me. But we do want to see Minnie in her Stella McCartney outfit. So I think that's 2:10 that she's on in Studios in her Stella McCartney pantsuit that caused so much controversy. So given that with 6 degrees of separation we're only one removed from Stella McCartney, I feel like we've got to go over there. We've made the decision to go over to Disney Studios, but given that we're so close, it'd be rude not to look at possibly the best bit of theming of any Disney park, which is Captain Hook's ship and Skull Island. So earlier on I said there was a shortcut through to Agrabah, so there's Agrabah Cafe, the Passage of Aladdin, and then there's the shop, and that bit there that nobody ever notices is a shortcut. It looks completely like you're not supposed to go down here, but it is completely open to everyone. And it's a very quiet area.
So to the left takes you to the top of Main Street.
No, the bottom of Main Street, isn't it? Well, it's towards the castle of Main Street.
The castle
side. End of Main Street. You can just see Space Mountain in the distance.
Yeah, straight on take you to Frontierland.
You can also sneak through that way, which comes out near where the Baloo meet usually is.
The character meets, you could get blocked and
yeah.
actually get out that way.
I think it's like Colonel Peace, what I think it is, something like that you can put around, but yeah. As the sign says, we're going towards Frontierland, and then this brings you out by the Frontierland toilets, which always are a lot quieter than the Agrabah toilets. There you go, you're into Frontierland.
Oh wait, there's more.
So
this one's a bit more than the other one.
So this straight over now goes back up to the top of Main Street. So it's London Basin, and then this is where we came out this morning, but it's just obviously showing you the opposite direction. There used to be a bench there, which is my favourite bench in all of DLP, and I miss it. But then Main Street USA. And the guest house we're going past. So that's what you can see if you just go into this very unassuming door. So if there's a parade on, or if it's raining, there are some very quick ways to get basically from one end of the Disneyland Paris park right up to the other. Well, there's all the Avengers campus bits. It's supposed to open this summer, so hopefully not much longer. But we're going to see the Fashionista Mini. Or maybe we're not, because despite the fact that it is on between 1:10 and 2:40, they're not actually letting anyone else queue up. So they've just said it starts again at 4:35, but come back at 4 if you want a chance of actually seeing Minnie. So yeah, guess we're not going to be seeing Minnie in her Stella McCartney outfit. No trip into Studios is complete without paying a visit to Yzma. There's literally the only Emperor's New Groove reference in either park. And possibly, I don't think there's one in Walt Disney World either, is there? It might be literally the only reference in the whole of the Disney parks.
Oh, there's got to be some more.
No. We always go and say hello. There isn't really any rides or anything that we want to do over here, and they've got a crazy time. So we are going back to where we've just come from. But oh well. So because we come back into Disneyland Park at the time when the parade's on, we're going to take you down the other little path from near Aquabar that we said. And this is where this one comes out. So if the character meets are on, you can't go that way because that's where the character meets are. So instead you go over this like little footbridge and round. But because it doesn't look like there's any character meets on, we could go that way. I'm going to go this way. Over the little footbridge. And there you go. You come up. Basically near the Aladdin meet again. When you can't see Minnie in her Stella McCartney outfit, you get a consolation Dole Whip, or pineapple whip in Paris, but it's a Dole Whip. But if you are looking for the pineapple whips, that's where they are. Café de la Brousse. So we're going to go and do something that we've not done for ages, which is Fil à Magique, which means that we've never seen the new scenes. So see how much they've cut out of the ones that we love. Oh, that was so good.
It was good.
All of the 3D things was working for me. So I have a thing with 3D where sometimes my eyes just
Don't work.
yeah, they just are like, no, we're not going to have it. But everything worked, so it felt like the entire thing had been redone, rather than just the Coco scene added. Whereas Andy says it's
They've just done the Coco scene and everything else is looking a little bit dated.
I thought it all looked brand new. Maybe it's a thing of it's that long since 3D worked for me.
Yeah, true.
But I do love Fil à Magique.
Yeah.
It's I'd read when they put in the Coco scene in, I'd read online it made it sound like they were taking out the Aladdin scene, and I really, really love the Aladdin scene because I like the way that you like pretend that you're flying on the carpet. But that's still there, so happy days. I don't think we've ever actually done it in Walt Disney World, have we?
No, we haven't. Because Walt Disney World has got Donald's butt sticking out the back at the end of it,
Yeah,
whereas Paris doesn't.
We don't have Donald's butt. I wonder what that is in French. Le bout de canard?
But the duck's ass. I don't know.
It's like 4:30 now. There is another showing of the Dream and
Whatever.
Shine Bright.
Yep.
I should learn the name of these things. And then the Stars on Parade, and I would quite like to try and see Stars on Parade. With the Infinity Pass that we have as the annual pass for here, there is a viewing area for Stars on Parade, but I couldn't get a slot, which, having now seen the park in the 4 years that we've had an annual pass, this is by far the busiest that we have ever seen the park.
Yeah.
We've come at all times of the year, weekdays, weekends, and honestly, it's insane the level of queuing. I don't entirely know what's going on because the park is still apparently at reduced capacity, but when it's the busiest that you've ever seen it, it kind of doesn't feel like there's any reduced capacity going on.
Yeah.
But, so I couldn't get the Infinity Pass for the Stars on Parade viewing area, but we have mentioned numerous times about the MasterCard benefits. Throwback to the very many times of MasterCard benefits. So yeah, once or twice we might have mentioned that you get there's benefits to having a MasterCard within the Disneyland Paris park. A new benefit that they've introduced is a viewing area for Stars on Parade. So it is directly next to the Infinity area, so facing the castle stage. So if you're looking at the castle from like Main Street, it's to the right, but it's before you go through the little gates that are near to where the La Bella Notte pizzeria is. So there's a MasterCard viewing area there, so don't know whether to try to get in the MasterCard viewing area.
We'll go and give it a look.
Or just suck it up and go to our favourite spot by Flora's.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's give them a look first. Because the MasterCard area could be filled, but because a lot of people have MasterCards, so...
Yeah, it's not like with So when Mickey and the Magician is back, you can go to City Hall to get privileged tickets to get into Mickey and the Magician and get reserved seating. You can get it for the Disney Juniors show that's on at the minute in studios, but for the Stars on Parade viewing, you don't actually need to like pre-register at City Hall. You just literally rock up and show that you have a MasterCard to get in the area, and when it's full, it's full. So we'll see.
So
well, that was a crazy Stars on Parade.
that was a bit of a mixed one.
We decided to go to Flora's,
Yeah.
like by Flora's, the wall that's like by the gates. So Styles on Parade either starts or ends at those gates.
Sorry, I just noticed that you're like out in the picture there.
Yeah, it Styles on Parade starts or ends at those gates. Whilst the 30th celebration's on, I think it's always going to end at the gates because they've not got enough room for all the floats otherwise.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'd been sat there and waiting for to get sort of like 10 minutes out, and then I moved to next to a bin, which is my go-to because
the bin protection.
Yeah, basically. And then suddenly the bin was being moved.
Yeah, somebody just decided they're going to rearrange the bins. The cast members were shocked. They asked them why they're doing that, and they went, "Well, we'll put them back when we're done."
And the cast members were like, "But..."
The poor cast member was flabbergasted. He was just like, "Okay, whatever."
Like, at first he did try to reason with it. He was like, "You're not supposed to move the bins." And he was like, "But why?" And he was like, "Because that's where the bins go." And he went, "But does it matter during this?" I'm putting them back. I moved them yesterday as well. But then that started like an entire thing of like just people moving bins and
standing on the bins and
chaos.
Yeah. Oh.
Honestly, the most chaotic Stars on Parade I've ever watched. And then I don't know if it was a load of cast members who were like some of the dance troops on the other side.
Yes, it was.
But they were bigging up
every single person that came down, which was brilliant. Yeah, as you may have just seen in the clips.
I don't actually know how much I managed to get because there was so much chaos. The cast members were literally having to walk up and down constantly. But, and Maleficent wasn't breathing fire.
No.
The way that the person who was driving the dragon, they were the people who were like, "You fire her," and then he's like driving one hand and going, "No, sleepy." So apparently Maleficent was sleepy and not breathing fire.
But I think that's the end of our trip for the moment.
Yeah, it's just gone 6 o'clock. We're going to go get our bags from the luggage storage, which currently has a queue. But
it's had a big queue, but okay.
We'll just sit here until it goes down a bit.
Yeah,
and then
heading off to maybe the train or maybe the Uber. You'll find out when we show you in a minute.
I was going to say you'll know before us.
No, you won't.
Times are confusing.
Yeah.
I don't want to queue, so we just sit here until we see the queues go.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we opted for an Uber in the end.
It's just quicker. Well, no, it's not quicker. It's cheaper, strangely.
Yeah, it came in for Uber was €56 and the train was coming in at €65.
Yeah.
So we had plenty of time, so we saved money and got the Uber. Which is weird that you'd think that the train would always be cheaper, but
it's not. You can get some good deals on the train and it'll be coming at €17 each, but this one it was like 30 odd.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
It is. We're just now about to go through security. Again, we've got masks on because public transport in Paris and in France, you've got to wear a mask, so we've got masks on. We're going to go through security and then I think it'll be time to get my standard pistachio macarons that I always get when we come through Paris.
I just realised I look really toasted.
I think I do as well. Might have caught the sun.
The tourist.
So I'm going to put you away until we're back through security. I'm currently feeling very glad that we allowed plenty of time because we're not even at security yet. This is the pre-security queue. Yeah, no trip to France is complete without a lot of stuff here. So if you're coming from the UK, you are now eligible for tax refund because you've no longer been in the EU, not getting into a whole Brexit thing. But we don't pay tax in France anymore, so if your transaction is over €100, you can basically get a receipt that has a special tax refund bit, and then in the terminal you'll find a tax refund stand that you can go and get some money back. So as you will have gathered from the last clips of me buying macarons and showing you the tax-free, we got through security. Slightly stressful. I got stopped, I think because of my bra. I'm not entirely sure, but the person who was doing the search didn't really speak any English. I don't speak any French. The person who was like the supervisor or something spoke perfect English. then just disappeared and just wandered off. And so Mum was trying to get me to do stuff of like show my shoe and hold on to something metal, and that's way beyond my French comprehension, so slightly stressful. And then my bag also got stopped for a random drug test, so took a little bit of time. Also the queues. There's a queue to essentially get your stamp to leave the country. Then the security queues, so it's actually taken us about an hour and a half in total. I mean, the good news is it means that we've not got long to wait until boarding starts for the flight though, so, you know, silver lining and all that. So we're going to be going from K34. We always sit sort of the gate behind because the Manchester flight seems to always be from gate K34, and the flights that leaves from 32 I don't know what time it goes, but 32 is always empty, so we always sit at 32 instead of cramming into 34. And though it's not signposted, I think, anywhere properly, from K34, so down that way is where you come through from security. But back that way, K30 and K31 are downstairs, and there's also toilets down there, but I don't think it's signposted anywhere properly. There's also like a viewing area and like seats that fully recline, so if you have a long layover, it's basically a bed down there for you to sleep at.